Hey there, YouTubers. How you doing, man? Hey, this is Rocket Man Mike coming to you from Houston, Texas. Man, Houston's a beautiful city, I tell you. My Triumph Rocket 3, a roadster, baby. I don't care what anybody says, but this is hands down the best motorcycle made in the world. And I've owned them all at least once, trust me. I'm driving through the Houston skyline today, which is something I have never done, and I've lived in Houston now about 7 years. So I thought I would do my blog today, just drive around downtown, see what it's like, get back on the expressway later. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to talk to you about a few things, see if we could stir up some questions, get some controversy going. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, which was something that, you know, I guess we all have to deal with or at least witness at one time in our life, and that's racism. And in my case, more than, it's probably called reverse racism in my case, because, you know, I'm white. But I had a situation the other day that I went through, and it pissed me off so much, I swear to God, I thought I was going to kill somebody. But the other day, I was looking for a place to get a haircut. I wasn't in Houston, but I was in one of the Houston suburbs, a city called Pasadena. And I was there because I was getting some new tires put on my Rocket here. And I went in, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. We drove around, my wife and I, and we were looking for a barbershop. And actually, I was having a really hard time finding one. I was even using Google Maps trying to find one that was close by. And you know, I'm an ex-Marine, man, and I still keep that high and tight thing going because it's easy. So I'm not looking for a salon. I'm just looking for a nuts and bolts barbershop where I can go in, get the high and tight, nice and close going, and then I'm good for a couple months until my next haircut. So I was having a really difficult time finding a barbershop. Really difficult time. I found a lot of salons, but I couldn't find a barbershop. And then today, all these new barbershops, you know, they got like 20 big screen TVs and looks more like a freaking bar than a barbershop. You know, pretty girls in referee outfits, you know, music playing. But when it boils down to it, they usually can't cut hair worth a damn. So I see this barbershop that I just happened to pass by. It wasn't even listed on Google Maps, which probably should have clued me off right at the beginning. And I don't remember the name of the barbershop, guys, because if I did, trust me, I would tell you, and I would say stay the hell away from it. But this barbershop had like a biker name, and when I say biker, I mean like the Harley Davidson, leather and jeans, spikes and chrome kind of bike kind of place. You know, bad beards, bad hair, and body odor, that kind of place. Now there's a nice car. Well, I was kind of nervous going into this place, you know, because I'm not that kind of guy. You know, I don't squid it out. You know, I don't leather up. What am I saying? I don't leather up, but I armor up. You know, I put my jacket on and my gloves, and I generally wear even pants with armor, although I'm just wearing a pair of cargo pants today because I'm taking a leisurely drive. But I was all armored up that day. You know, I had my armor on, and I was just looking to get a haircut, go back, pick up my bike, and then, you know, drive back home. I wasn't even blogging yet back then. So I decide, what the hell, you know, I'm just going to go in and get myself a haircut. So I get in there. There was four barber chairs. And immediately I realized that it was nothing like the biker name or the biker motif that I saw on the outside. But there was four rather young guys, kind of hip looking, you know, with the hat backwards, and you know, they definitely weren't playing Creedence Clearwater Revival on the radio. I don't know what it was they were playing, but, you know, younger generation stuff, you know, with the whole hip-hop influence and stuff. They weren't black. I think they were Hispanic, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they were. So I sit down, and they had 4 people in the chairs, and there was one ahead of me waiting. So I decide, well, I guess I just need to sit down and wait, and they'll get to me as soon as the chair opens up. So I sat there for about 20 minutes or so, and the guy ahead of me, he wound up getting into the next available chair, so I'm thinking I'm next. Well, the next time the chair becomes available, they don't call me. The barber that finished actually stepped back, you know, behind. I guess they have a waiting area back there. Completely forgot about me. So I figured, well, maybe he's going on lunch or something. Maybe a late break. Maybe that was his last cut. I mean, I don't know. So then the next guy, he finishes his cut, and he sits in his chair, and I'm kind of halfway expecting him to call me, of course. So I'm sitting there waiting. About another 5 minutes go by, which felt like forever, of course. And I tell my wife, you know what, I'm going to get up and say something because this is getting ridiculous. Houston's finest, cruising downtown. Well, finally, I just said, hey, man, I'm waiting for a haircut. Is somebody going to get to me? And the guy stood up like he wanted to fight me. And he said, hey, look, man, I'm getting ready to go on break. I'm just waiting for the other guy to come back. And you got to understand, you know, I really needed a haircut. You know, I'm the director of a facility, and you know, I always got to look my best. I got to, you know, be the example, right? So I figured I'm going to sit down, wait another few more minutes, because by this time it would just be longer for me to try to go find another barbershop. So I sit and I'm waiting. The other guy comes back. The guy that I spoke to left. And he sits in his chair, and he doesn't call me neither. And by this time, as you can guess, I'm freaking fuming. I'm ready to throw down. And so I stood up, and I'm like, hey, listen, I've been waiting here now almost 40 minutes, and nobody has called me for anything. Now, there's a squid if I've ever seen one. That is not the way to ride a bike, man. And I said, are you going to get to me or not? Because I've been sitting here waiting, and I really need a haircut. And the guy looks at me, and he goes, look, this barbershop isn't what it used to be. And they've made a lot of changes with the new owner. And today, we're only cutting the hair of regulars and appointments. And basically, he didn't think I was either. So now, as you can guess, I'm pretty pissed off. And I honestly did not know how to handle the situation. I didn't know whether to just fucking lose my shit or just ignore him. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. So better judgment got the best of me, and I decided I'm just going to walk away from this situation. Fuck them. And I felt so discriminated against. Honestly, I was beside myself. It was almost like a how dare you kind of thing. So I was like, really, man, I just can't believe that happened to me. I was born in a place called Brownsville, Texas. For those of you guys that don't know where that is, that's as far south as you can go in the state. On the border, by the sea. And in my opinion, one of the best places in the world, hands down, to grow up. And being a white guy in the Rio Grande Valley, which is where Brownsville's located, I'm the minority, big time, okay? It's about 98, 99% Hispanic. And There's just not a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of whites, there's not a whole lot of blacks, there's not a whole lot of Asians. It's it's not very diverse. I think because Houston is so diverse, it wasn't something that I was expecting to happen to me up here in this area. So when it did, my guard was down, and it was something that I just did not expect to happen. So when it did, you know, the fucking dragging came out of me, man, and I was ready to eat that guy. So, I mean, what do you think? Why do you think it got me so mad when that's something that I've dealt with my whole life? It is an ugly feeling to go through that. And I could not imagine feeling that way often. I mean, I think if I grew up in a situation where I felt that way on a daily or even weekly basis, I would grow up hard and I would grow up angry. And I'm telling you, it opened up a whole new understanding for me, because I think it helps me understand certain situations and certain things that I've seen, like on the news, and certain reports that I've seen where people were upset because of discrimination or some sort of racial event. Because before I used to say, well, I don't understand why they're so angry or why that person got so upset because of that racist remark. Just forget about it. Fuck it. Move on. But let me tell you something. It got to me. It really did. And it really opened my eyes. So I'm telling you guys right now, be very careful. Racism is ugly. And let me tell you something, it has no part in the new world. And when I say the new world, I say that because in the world today, two beautiful women there. In the world today, as diverse as the world is becoming, there is no place for racism. None whatsoever. Because let me tell you something, they're a dying breed. Racists are a dying breed, and it's just one of those kind of things that is just going to eventually die and fade away, because America and the rest of the world is becoming too diverse to survive something like that. And I use that event and that situation to govern a lot of my actions when it comes down to me questioning whether or not I'm treating a certain situation correctly or not. And now I let that govern the way I act towards certain things. And I'm hoping that by me sharing my story of reverse racism with you, that it can help you in a certain way, okay? You know, it's just like these guys that act all tough all the time and they're always wanting to pick a fight. After they get their butt kicked, they don't walk around like that no more. And it's not that I was a racist son of a bitch or anything, but it definitely changed my view towards things. So anyway, good story. Just wanted to share it with you. And let me know what you think. Please link and subscribe, Rocket Man Mike. This is like my second or third blog video. I haven't done too many. It's something that I'm just getting started. I'm hoping that I get better, and I'm going to try to come up with some compelling and interesting stories to talk about with you. I've tried doing my blog while on the expressway to help make things a little bit more dynamic when watching the video, but it hasn't worked out so far yet. So let me know what you're thinking. I'm going to go by this park again real quick. I think someone just squirted me with water because I just got some on me. The park's usually not this crowded. It's a nice day today, though. Spring in the air.
Are you breathing?
It's about 72 degrees.
Are you breathing? Now. Are you breathing?
Anyway, signing off, man. You guys take care. Rocket Man Mike coming at you. Take it easy.